I've been given 5 minutes to tell a 5 hour story, so I'll try to be brief, and brevity is not my strong suit. Um, I am no different than everyone in this room in the fact that we were all born in sin and shapen in iniquity. Um, 1 Corinthians 13:11 talks about when I was a child, I did things like a child does. I thought like a child, I acted like a child, I reasoned like a child, or in my case, I didn't reason so much. Um, but when I came a man, yeah, nothing changed. Um, I still was very childlike. Um, and I grew up in a world without guardrails. Um, I grew up in church, Pentecostal church, if that is any alarms. Lots of signs: don't do this, don't go there, do this, don't do that, but never reasons as to why I should not or should do the things they were preaching or teaching or compelling us as children and teenagers to do. Um, 6 years old, I'm in the woods playing doctor with the neighbor girl. That kind of behavior continued all through my teens, and I was like any other teenage boy. Um, I became an adult. Yeah, I still acted like a teenager. I got married. 6 months into my marriage, I was cheating on my wife, and that went on for 18 years. Um, and like everybody else in this room, I was born spiritually blind. Um, December of 91, I'm in Chicago on a business trip. I'm in an elevator, and suddenly my sight was given to me, spiritually speaking. I suddenly saw guardrails all around me, and I knew it was time to go home, literally and figuratively. And that was my point of conversion. I went home, came back to St. Louis. My conversion was, as far as my wife was concerned, was too little too late. She left me 3 months later, went through a divorce, and now through the grace of God, I've been married for 25 plus years to a wonderful woman who really blessed me, and has just made me the man I am today. But just becoming a Christian didn't make everything okay. Um, I pretty quickly in my new marriage and as a new Christian, it all kind of happened at the same time, so it was a busy 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 18 months. I saw there were some guardrails there that I'd been ignoring. I was having lunch with coworkers that were former coworkers, I should say, that I was having lunch with before my conversion. And one of them in particular, we'd had an affair that went on for 5 years. And I quickly realized that I had to tell this gal that day that I could no longer have lunch with her because it was A, it was dangerous, and B, it wasn't honoring to my wife. So I broke that off, and I haven't seen her since. And so the guardrails are there. You look around this room, there's guardrails everywhere. Your brothers in Christ are your guardrails. Like Jeff was saying, open up your heart to them, tell them what's going on in your life. And with me, it was sexual sin. I never had problems with money. My ex-wife did, but I didn't. Everything's her fault. But, but you have to rely, on these guardrails, um, and trust your brothers. Everything you say here is always safe. There's a lot to be gleaned from talking to each other. I am the oldest by far at my table. I think these guys at my table are afraid to get old based on what I've been telling them. Um, but just trust your brothers, and trust the guardrails. You look around; they're everywhere. This Tuesday morning is a guardrail. The Friday morning groups are a guardrail. Sunday at church, all these things are guardrails. Keep your eyes open. You'll still see some warning signs, but just I think guardrails were invented for me because I sure needed them, and I didn't pay attention to them when I should have. But thank God, I'm doing so now.